citizen out of you.
Not you, Noir. You've been great.
Because they sleep with a gun and keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things you do.
This is not lesbian.
Because the drugs never work, they gonna give you a smirk, cause they got methods of keeping you clean. They gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds. Another cog in the murder machine. They said, I'll to scare the living shit out of me. They could care less as long as someone to bleed. So darken your clothes, I'll strike a violent post. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. The boys and girls in the clique, the awful names at the stick. You're never gonna fit in much, kid. But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did.
Fuck
They
that Nazi
said,
bitch.
"I'll teenagers
Wait, no, wait.
they can care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes, I'll strike a violent post. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me.
Eat this motherfucker.
Howdy ho, buckaroo.
Fuck! Get the fuck out of here! Holy shit! Wait.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me. They can care less as long as someone
That
will
was
bleed.
diabolical!
So darken your clothes, I'll strike a violent post. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me.
Terrific.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Everybody was having a little bit of mic issues, but we are good now, I hope. And we will be having Saggy will be joining us here in just a few minutes. She was getting off of work and all of that fun stuff, so she should be on soon too. But we are going to talk about some fun Amber Heard stuff. We're going to dive into the Rippaverse announcement and talk about Ezra Miller. We have to wait for the other stuff, though. Of course, for Saggy. But how are you today, Bianca?
I'm first, you losers. I'm just kidding. I'm doing fine. I had like 4 pizzas today.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
4 pizzas? You had 4 whole pizzas or just pieces?
I had 2 pieces like in the early afternoon, 2 pieces before the stream.
So you're ready to go.
Maybe like half of them? Who knows? Maybe.
No. How are you today, Kate?
I'm fine aside from the mic problems.
Well, it seems to be working now. You sound
Yeah.
crystal clear.
That's good. I'm relieved.
Yay. Carrie, is your audio okay?
Yes. How does it
Okay,
sound?
good. Yes. It sounds
Okay.
perfect. Awesome. How are you?
Yay! I'm good. How are you been?
I am good. Did everybody... Okay, we got to talk about this first, because come on now. Amber Heard wants a mistrial. What's
Oh,
everybody's initial reaction? Like, what the fuck?
We just
that
went
falls
through
into the
this entire
narcissism.
thing, you know?
I have no idea what's going on.
Wait, you didn't know about this?
I'm never up to date.
Well, that means you didn't pay attention to my channel.
I heard about it, but I
Rude.
didn't get all the details.
Yeah.
I
And-
said I was taking a break with some people's videos. Okay, I was playing with my guild mostly all this morning and afternoon.
Your guild?
My guild.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Amber wants... Okay. So this is this weird thing. Now, the official paperwork came out, and we may look at it later. I don't know. It's pretty lawyery. But the official paperwork came out, And this weird situation happened, and I swear it is by some strange coincidence, or this person, juror number 15, had it planned. What happened was there are two people by the same name that live at the same address. One is in their 50s and one is in their 70s. When they went to court, the one that was in their 50s showed up, did the whole entire process, but it was supposed to be the person in their 70s. And now Amber is saying, I did not get a fair trial. I didn't get my due process that I am entitled to. And I want a mistrial, and I want to do this all over again.
Oh no.
Ugh.
I've never heard of a mistrial before.
Well, the thing is, the jurors were selected and agreed upon by both parties, right? So you have
Yes.
both parties. The very first day, it wasn't televised. They went through the people. They said yes. They had alternates in place in case something
Yeah.
happened. And now Amber's like, can I please get, a little
do-over?
bit? Yes. And the thing is, you can't do that. She got her due process. She
Yeah.
did under it's voir dire, basically, is the kind of legal term for picking out, your jurors and selecting them and how it's done. It's agreed upon. The thing is, I honestly think that she knew. I'm going conspiratorial here. I think she knew
Or
because I think she wants to use this as a way to throw it out. Because why did she discover it a week later or 2 weeks later?
right. I think this falls into that narcissism again. Like I'm not wrong, so I'm going to look for any reason to prove that I'm not wrong, no matter
Gary,
how.
you're breaking up.
Ah!
Static again.
The static
Hold
is
on.
back. The static monster.
Oh snap! She's static shock.
No.
I got a superhero.
We got a superhero among us. I feel so honored. But yeah, so Bianca, would you be super excited if this happened all over again?
What?
Check the face. This
Do I
trial.
sound better?
Oh, the trial, you mean? I thought you meant Carrie and her mic. And I'm like, I don't know.
Uh-uh.
Not yet, Carrie. It's
Ugh.
me. But yeah, so I had you on quite a few times when the trial was going, and how were they? My big question is, let's even entertain the idea, just for the sake of it. Let's entertain the idea of it actually going back to trial. How are they going to go through and pay everybody again? Do the whole thing step by step by step. Do all of the evidence, everything, new jurors, new recorder, new everything,
Oh my
all
goodness.
over again. Can you think of it?
No.
Just think of the mass amount of money.
Ugh.
Money I don't got.
No.
Rich people problems.
Oh my god.
Like I don't know that I mean, of course I would go through it and do it, but we did like by the end of the time the trial was over, live streaming it every day. I swear I should have taken up drinking or something just for nerves alone. it was a chore. A chore is a good word. Chore to listen to Amber up on the I was gonna say stage, up on the stand over and over again. I think she's honestly using this for nothing more than PR. We have a message from beyond. And Carrie's mic snapped that word. She said it's Amber's narcissism looking for anything to prove she is innocent. I actually would go a little bit further and say she knows what she's doing. And a lot of this is to prove, or for her to be able to say, look, I did not get a fair trial. Therefore, the other court case in UK is actually the
They didn't do their jobs.
yeah, exactly. We have Saggy. Yay! Hello, Saggy.
I made it and I have chocolate in my mouth.
What kind? What brand?
Tell us.
Hershey's with almonds. I was so hungry.
Ooh.
Wow.
That
Oh,
sounds
glad you
delicious.
didn't hear me like talking about how I had multiple pieces of pizza today.
I did. I was watching on my way home as
Ah,
I was like
dang.
totally not speeding on the way home to make it.
Carrie's gonna log out and log back in. That works. Hopefully that fixes it. Thank you so much, Roxanne Wins. The wrong juror is just speculation on Elaine's part. They have no proof. Or it's just a way a juror out, or it's just a way. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, Roxanne. My dyslexia is kicking in. Or it's a way draw a juror out and admit something. Or just keep a way to keep her name in the media. And I think that's a lot of it, but I think it's a way for her to claim, honestly, that she didn't get a fair trial. Even though we know, like, in this situation, I don't think there's any chance in hell that Judge Penny is going to go forward and say, yeah, I believe you, because they went through the whole Voirdire. That is the Latin expression. I apologize. I have a speech impediment. But they went through the entire process. It was simply a lot of this, I think, was a situation of senior and junior. Shit happens. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Singing Roxanne. Yes, you don't have to put on the red light. Thank you, Roxanne, for that. Now it's going to be in my head for days.
Good thing I don't know the song.
Pizza! Oh my goodness. Carrie, did
What?
you get it? How do you sound down there?
I don't know. How do I sound?
You sound wonderful. Wonderfully beautiful.
Yes.
Excellent.
You sound great. So now you were talking about her narcissism. What were you trying to say before your mic decided to be an asshole?
It's that narcissism that she's not wrong and she needs to be in the spotlight and everybody's got to like look at her like, oh, she's the poor victim.
Yeah.
Fuck Amber Heard. Sorry.
Yay.
It's been a while.
Have you seen the mistrial stuff?
I heard about it. I just laughed. I was like, bitch, please. No one's giving you this. No one's going to give you this mistrial shit. Like, what do you mean? Your case. How long was the trial? Like, come on.
Too
Yeah,
long, bro.
7 weeks.
What?
7 weeks. Well, a week off.
Like,
but
take
still.
the L.
We're lucky
Right,
it
but I'm
only
like,
took
take the
7
L.
weeks.
Like
Some
Amber,
take for like
take the L.
4 years.
Oh my god. I just don't think there's any way that the judge is going to see this and think that's smart. Like, I just don't. And I wanted to show you guys this too, because this made me laugh today. Look, yep, this is a real thing now.
Oh no.
Wow.
I wouldn't really call her beautiful.
So are they saying that people are just calling her ugly or something?
No, we'll talk about it. Let me get this from In Fantasy I Die. Can't wait to review the Rippaverse comics just for laugh. I unless he's charging an arm and a leg, I will be reviewing it. Hate the man term used loosely, but he'll probably rake in money. Yes, absolutely, it'll make money. Yeah, especially initially, it'll make in Monday. I said Monday. Money. Happy Sunday to you also in Fantasy I Die. Thank you so much. Judge Moranis. Yes. Basically what this whole article is about TikTok. Yep. I'm still gonna get you guys to use TikTok. I promise it's gonna happen. She didn't deserve the beauty. Now, when you look at Amber, she is a pretty woman. But I think this is the best way to put it. Beauty fades. Beauty fades. Yes, she can be pretty, she can get surgeries to be pretty, but right now, Hollywood doesn't want anything to do with her. Like anything whatsoever.
She shit on the bed, bro.
Nobody wants a bed crapper. Like, what if
Right.
we're doing a scene and there's a bed and she's just like, that's my calling. That's my calling. I have to
Like Amber.
Oh, God.
Amber,
Make the
listen.
calls.
Amber, in this scene, we need you to be in the bed, but you just can't shit in the bed, Amber. So please try to refrain from shitting in the bed. This is just a quick sex scene, and it's not hot for you to You just clench the cheeks, Amber. Clench them together. Pinch the loaf.
Oh wow.
And just do the scene.
Weird enough, that's actually what some people do. There was a person who had this weird kink of crapping on the bed after intercourse.
Why is that a kink?
Oh,
I'm
I
not
don't
kink shaming, but
know.
why?
No,
I have
please
to-
shame it. That's
I'm sorry,
disgusting.
what the hell did Bianca just say, bro? Like, I missed that. What?
I was looking at this video of this guy talking, and he was like, so we finished, doing the stuff, and she craps on my bed, and I'm just like, well, yo, what the crap on me? And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I heard stuff like this happens, but then it kept happening a lot of times, and then he asked her about it, and she's like, oh, she's into that, and he's like, well, first of all, that's my bed. You're out.
Oh my god. Oh, hold on. I gotta say something about that. But I get it. Let me get the super chat. Eve Barlow's rotten crotch. Eve. I see Elon is trying to dispel the rumors of him having weak pullout game by pulling out of the Twitter deal. That's fucking good.
Wait, he didn't buy it
yeah.
yet? I thought he did buy it, because that's what.
No,
you
no,
know
he-
what?
he's backing out.
Everybody keeps saying it. I shouldn't have. Yeah.
No. So he wanted Twitter to give him data on the whole bot situation, and Twitter was like, I don't know why they didn't, but they were like, nah. So Elon was like, then I'm not gonna buy you. Then that's basically what it was. They were waiting.
And I'm
for
pretty sure
to
Twitter
do
is
that.
like, okay, whatever, bro.
Yeah, because they make $1 billion out of the deal no matter what because of the fees. So they're like, okay. Yeah, weird flex, but okay. Elon has no pullout game, let's be real. He has 9 kids, likely more
Oh.
than that, because I have a big feeling, and I think most of us have the same feeling, that this baby is in fact his. So that's 10.
Well,
One that
pulling out's not
disowned him.
100% effective either, so, like, nothing's effective. Nothing's ever effective. It's never ogre, guys. It's never ogre.
Yeah, with all the money
Oh
he
my
has,
goodness.
he could have just got snipped. He wouldn't have all these kids.
Unless it's on
Yeah,
purpose.
I think they're 18 years old at this point or something.
Oh, the twins,
He
yeah.
has a transgender child that changed their last name because they want so little to do with him because he's such a fucking asshole. Like, I kind of get it, but like, holy crap, he's the richest man in the world. Why? Okay, all right. That's some serious dying on that hill. I get
He's
it.
not the pappy.
Did you see what he said
Thank
when
you
they
so
asked
much.
him?
What's that?
I said, did you see what he said when they asked him about the twins that were recently born?
No, I did not. Thank you, Eve Barlow's rotten crotch, by the way.
He said
What's the
he's doing his
static
part
coming
to
from,
keep-
Carrie?
I don't know. I was fine a moment ago.
Did you move it 1 centimeter to
No.
the left?
No, I haven't touched it.
I thought
What did he say, though?
I thought I was tripping when I heard that.
I always think
Come
I'm
on.
tripping.
Is my mic okay?
No, it's just
Sometimes.
Carrie's.
Oh, it's just
Oh.
Carrie's?
Yeah, Carrie's is like snap, crackle, and pop, like Rice Krispies right now.
Okay. I want to know what he said, though. What did he say?
You'll never know now.
I'll never know. Gary has left the building. Okay, we'll get Gary. Thank you so much for the super chat. Elon must like girls leaving brown onions in his bed. No, Gary.
Oh, okay. He
if
said
he
he was
was
doing his
never-
part. Oh,
Don't
sorry.
we have 8 billion people?
Yeah, I
Am I
don't.
lagging?
Aren't we okay?
No, you're
I'm
not
estimating,
lagging.
by the way. So,
I wasn't sure because I feel like I kept cutting people off.
No, you're fine. But he said he was doing his part to keep the population up. Okay, I guess, but I don't think we have a problem there. I mean, I know birth rate is a little down right now, but I don't know.
I mean, like, compared to Japan, which they're already small and they're birth rate is declining so rapidly that it's an actual problem, I don't think we have an actual problem.
That's a good. You guys are missing. That is like the most bullshit pickup line I've ever heard. Hey, baby, I want to make sure the population's good, so I want to put a baby in you. That's kind of like really ballsy to do of Elon, just to be like, hey, I want to make sure I'm contributing to the population of humanity. So let me just bust a few up in there, and it's like, whoa, Elon, like, how much money you got? Okay, yeah, go ahead. My legs are wide open for business. Let's go,
But why
Elon.
not get
I'm ready.
Why not get the 400,000 that already do not have a family?
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
And they can
Elon
make more
Musk,
kids.
financial stability. And like you lock down a baby with Elon Musk, you're set for life. That man must pay a lot of money in child support.
Oh my god. Like wasn't the twins thing like a hush hush thing also? And wasn't he married to Grimes or something? Like these people's personal life is like worse than a soap opera.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's Elon Musk. I am not surprised that women would just throw their kitty cats at him like, here, just take it. Just take it.
Oh my god. I don't understand the draw with Elon though.
He's
Money?
rich.
Billions?
He's
Okay.
filthy rich.
I don't even necessarily mean that. I don't mean the draw with I don't understand why a bunch of people on the right have really kind of put him on this pedestal lately. I don't get what Elon has done that's so amazing that these people like.
Tristan, he's rich. That's literally he's got
That's the answer.
he's got
no matter
power.
what.
That's all it is.
Don't mothers
got
usually
money, he's
tell
got
you
power.
like? Don't mothers usually say of when you marry a man, make sure he has good money or something like that, so you can be well off. And then you end up making your own career, and then
That's
Christopher
terrible
Barker,
advice
that's not
to give
true.
a kid.
Christopher Barker, that's not true. Money does technically buy you everything, which is why people with too much of it end up doing things that they shouldn't do with money because they have it. Because money doesn't buy everything, but money definitely does. Like, legit, if somebody really, really, really wanted to, we could have a real life friggin' vigilante. Like, friggin' an Iron Man suit can be a thing if people have enough money. But it's illegal to build an actual Iron Man suit because it's technically a non-government weapon that they would turn into a government weapon. So yes, money can 100% buy everything.
No, it cannot.
Yes,
it
it
can't
does,
buy
woman.
you happiness. The most basic thing money doesn't buy.
It will give
Tristan,
me temporary
if I had enough
happiness.
Hold on. If I had
Agreed.
enough money, Tristan, I would fill an entire pool with bubble tea, and I would be the happiest bitch you'd ever see. So yes, money can buy happiness.
Bubble tea.
Wait,
I'd be
I have to
swimming in
ask
bubble
this.
tea.
I've been meaning to ask you this. Is bubble tea that tea that's got the little like
Jellies?
jellies in it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to try it.
Pearls,
Please search up where you go. Look at their reviews. Lots of restaurants or cafes or whatever the frick, they make bubble tea different. There was one that I went to a couple times, and they add more sugar than usual, and it kind of like messed me up pretty good. And I'm like, well, mother crapper. And so I have to go to
I'm
the
just saying.
specific one, like near the mall or whatever, because they actually don't put a crap ton of sugar. They ask you.
I need to try it. It sounds.
Yeah,
I mean, but money. That's the thing. I'm not one of those. I don't know. I don't think money is the most important thing. What if you're you can buy everything you want. You can't buy a person. You can't buy love. You can't buy
a person. It's called
companionship.
adoption.
Right. Well, I'm saying money. Right. Most of the issues in the world is bills and surviving, and money. When you have enough money where you don't have to worry about bills because you have enough money to take care of yourself, it does make you feel a little bit more happy because now that's one less thing in life you're worried about. But you're right. Like, you can't buy love because we've seen with certain stories that you're probably going to be talking about tonight that like love, you can't buy people's love. People will be because they make their life easier. That doesn't mean they love, but money can assure some level of happiness. That is something you cannot deny. It's just it can't buy everything. Right. You can't buy buy things with money. Some people, like, you can't buy me. You can't buy certain people if they like, nah, I'm not about that money hungry life. But overall, money can make you happier. Guys.
I mean, I
Y'all
understand
over
that,
here
but
lying to yourself. If somebody gave you a handout.
I
Oh,
understand
go
that,
ahead.
but you
Sorry.
also
Speaking of
have to
money.
look at it like you kind of have that. You get more money, you get more problems, you get more issues, you get bigger
More
bills,
money,
you
more
get bigger
problems is what you're
addictions.
saying.
Yes, more money, more problems. That's exactly
Well,
right.
Well, that depends on how you spend your money, right? Now,
That's true.
if you got $1 million and you just spend all that $1 million on a house that like you cannot afford because you don't have that steady income, like it's if you got a couple $100,000 to buy a friggin' BMW, don't buy a BMW if you don't get enough money to afford to fix a BMW. Okay, like
BMW is
it depends on how you
disgusting.
spend your money because I know someone. Well, I'm saying most people like the fancy cars.
I know, it's like all design and no use, just like Doodles, Golden Doodles and Benny Doodles, disgusting too.
What?
Yeah, but I mean, like for example, like I know somebody who they. Oh, is that what happened?
No, I was just laughing because I had no idea what the fuck Bianca was talking about.
Oh no, you don't know Doodles, you're not a dog person.
No, I have no idea.
Doodles like Golden Doodles, Bernie Doodles, which is like a golden retriever mixed with a poodle, or a Burmese mountain dog mixed with a poodle.
I thought you were talking about like doodles, like the fake thing Amber was doing during, the trial, like doodling.
No, Doodle is a type of dog that was made in the 90s, has no use. Even the person who bred them was like, yeah, I made a mistake. But because it looks adorable and cute, it is increasingly popular with one of the most biggest problems ever. Oh,
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Let me get the super chat. I don't get what bubble tea is. It looks like frog spawn to me. It does look weird, but I also am very, very intrigued.
Gary, I no longer like you.
What?
what did Gary
No, thank
say?
you. Yes, it
Oh,
looks like
shoot.
frog spawn. Thank you, Gary. But yeah. So wait, what? We went from Amber to Elon to money. Oh my goodness. But
Seems
but
good to me.
there has been this like weird rhetoric on her beauty. Like, I get that she is a pretty girl. She is. But compared, when you put her in the spotlight, you put her in Hollywood. She doesn't stand out. She doesn't have a unique look. She looks like every other Hollywood starlet. So that's not going to get her anywhere at this point. Right now we're seeing her get a book deal.
What the hell?
Yes, she's going to be writing a tell-all book. But listen to this. Listen. This book she's going to write is also going to then tell everything about Johnny, tell everything about her life, and her truth is subjective because it's obviously not true. But then whoever then publishes the book will actually be able to then be opened up for another defamation case.
I was just gonna say that she's like, hey, sue me again, Johnny.
It's so make it make sense. What kind of book company would take that risk?
Like so much for moving on.
Yeah. All she wanted to do was move on, right? All she wanted to do.
I want to
That's
see
my
her
mic
do it
sound
just
now.
so we can have another still choppy.
Ah,
Still choppy. You sound like a static robot or something.
Your mic's
At
choppy.
least
I'm
it's
lagging. It's a great stream.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hit like
Hearable.
because
It's hearable. Stand it. It's understandable when she speaks.
audible.
Audible. Sponsored by Tristan.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
getting
what
the
do you
lag
think about
too.
the entire situation, Kate?
What do I think?
Would you read it?
Read what?
Her book, if she actually makes one.
Oh no, I would not read anything by Amber Heard. Hell no. Like, I would have to be super drunk and desperate to to read something. Oh god.
Oh, dude, I would totally buy her book just to use it as toilet paper.
Better yet, you buy her book to use, and we'll literally name it what Kate said. We'll do a stream and we'll call it Drunk and Desperate, and we will go through it.
Yeah.
Oh,
like it will be very interesting to see what changed from the book to the first trial to the second trial to what she said in public. Like, she's changed her story a solid 3 times at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
the poop story still seems consistent.
Yeah, that's the only one that's consistent within the entire thing. I just find it funny that somebody would actually do that. And I honestly think that she probably won't write the book herself. I do think it will be some sort of ghostwriter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, ooh.
That way she could say, I didn't actually write the book, guys. It was somebody else. And I didn't defame Johnny a second time.
Oh,
There's
no.
always an out. There's always an out. She never takes
There is.
responsibility for anything.
Because she's a bitch.
Like
Fuck
another
Amber
lawsuit.
Heard.
That's right. Okay. I was really excited to finally get Saggy on to talk about this. So we got to talk about the Ezra Miller situation. Now, I don't know everything that Saggy does. This is why I needed her. We're going to put her right here so everybody can pay attention to Saggy right now. Now, so this whole situation, I sent you a video, you and Bianca a video earlier about Saggy. Or I'm sorry.
Dude, I didn't see the video. Oh no.
It was about me? It was about me?
No. It was about
Oh.
Ezra. Ezra being called a cult leader and a groomer. This is really weird to me because we just went through this with Johnny Depp. Learning our lesson to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and they are innocent until proven guilty. But now we're fucking doing it all over again with Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Aggie, that's
pretty
your
much.
cue. Yeah,
Right.
what
No,
has,
pretty
okay,
much. No, exactly.
what has he been charged of? With, rather.
Charged with legally nothing.
Yeah, because they
I
didn't
thought.
do anything. They haven't made any warrant for any arrest.
I thought they
So
was it or
super
was
serious.
it protective?
So
Protective. It was a two.
So there's 2 protective orders. One of the in Massachusetts got a temporary restraining order. Which for people who don't know how temporary restraining orders are, the key word there is temporary. That means they're issuing them a restraining order until they could prove further that Ezra is a danger to them. And that's just what that is. The whole thing that they're being accused of that's been really the big focus and the biggest problem that's concerning is the grooming allegations.
Which will be difficult to prove in the first place.
Well, in the temporary restraining order, you guys remember from the Amber case, it was super easy for her to get. She just showed up and got a restraining order. She did the exact same thing. And in this situation, it feels like there's a lot of allegations with not a lot of proof. And even to the point, the Rolling Stone article that came out that was so defamatory, some of those points have been disproven by the police report that what was it, that Flash News site that got?
Yeah, the Flash discussion. Well, I'm lagging, damn it. I know it's a lag. But no, so the police report, one of the big accusations, was from a mother who alleged that Ezra threatened them with a knife, that Ezra repeatedly slammed her arm into the car door. The police report stated that both those instances did not happen. There's also people who have said that it was actually the mother's daughter who was the one who shut the door that was on her arm, which makes more sense because if you have a parent who's trying to confront their child to get their child to leave with them while the child's in a vehicle trying to escape, yes, and it came to off as like the incident report basically what it wasn't. It came across as it was just an accident. The door
Right.
was slammed on the mother's door, but it wasn't done in malice. It was done because they were trying to shut the door. My theory is the mother was trying to reach into the car while the door was trying to be shut and happened to get their hand caught in it. But instead, that report, through the articles, they were saying, "Oh, well, they assaulted me with the door." And it's like the police report to suggest that that was a lie. And yeah, that's basically what it is. If people are actually paying attention to what the other people are posting about the situation, you'll see they're actually coming with some facts. Like they're actually showing some receipts, whereas the accusations are just that. They're just their word versus Ezra Miller, with them not providing anything. The closest thing of proof they've ever provided was a picture of the young woman who is apparently being groomed by Ezra, Takada, looking like her head was down, and the caption said, "This is her after Ezra fed them drugs after an overdose, recovering." And I'm like, that makes no sense, because if you have ever known anyone who's overdosed, they keep you in the hospital until they know you're good,
Right.
till they get all that shit out your system. So, like I don't know, but it's all just weird that people are just believing that Ezra's doing all this stuff with the very little evidence to suggest they are, with the opposition posting tons of proof that these stories have a lot of plot holes.
And it's amusing to me because we've had Takada actually come out not only on her social media and say, "I am fine," but then video herself and say, "I am fine." And a lot of people get it mixed up, like she's a kid. Or they're a kid. My apologies. They're actually 18 years old, to my understanding, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, Takada is 18 years old. Yes.
Wait, I thought they were non-binary.
Yes, that's why I said I said she, and then I messed up.
Tristan corrected
I'm sorry.
herself.
I'm
How
sorry.
dare you, Tristan?
I tried.
I was just like, wait, who are we talking about? And I was like, wait, are we talking about the young native? That
yes,
because like,
Yeah,
oh my god, okay,
Takada
yeah,
Iron
so we're on the
Chase,
same
I
page.
believe.
Yeah,
Oh, wait. I
and
think I said their name wrong.
Takada Iron.
Takada
Chase,
Iron
right?
Eyes, but they go by
Iron
Gibson.
Eyes. I said Iron
by
Chase. What's
Gibson.
Iron Chase?
Her
know.
father's name is Chase Iron.
Oh!
Okay. And the weird thing to me about the parents, and I didn't actually notice it till your stream last night, was their whole situation, their whole kind of, I don't even know what end game here is to get Ezra in trouble. Like they're not out there
Right.
like seeking their child. They're posting pictures of them happy together, all these things, but they're not with. If their whole end game was to find their child, get them home safe, all of this, any normal parent would be fucking doing that. Not posting Ezra is this bad of a person, Ezra did this. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels
Yeah.
counterproductive.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I've been seeing it and calling it out, because I'm like, there's something clearly wrong with the situation. Then another player who is allegedly Ezra Miller's stalker of 6 years coming out and saying, "Yeah, I lied about this. I started this, and I was the one who brought the grooming allegations to Gibson's father and said, hey, we think that Gibson's being groomed by Ezra
I didn't know
Miller."
they had a stalker.
I haven't heard this one.
I mean, I know
that's
everybody
the
has,
stream
but-
I missed.
Okay,
Ooh.
so here's the thing. When this person came out, they were on Instagram under the alias Vintage Devil. When this person came out on Instagram and said, "Hey, I was the reason this happened. I contacted the father and showed the father that, the messages from another person who was one of Ezra Miller's lovers." And they plotted this whole thing. So this person went to Chase Iron Eye and said, "Hey, Ezra's grooming your kid." That was 2 months prior, by the way, from when Chase Iron Eyes came out with the accusation. So Chase knew or had this information from this person saying that Ezra groomed their child for 2 months before they went public with it. And then after that, you find out a lot of YouTubers and stuff reached out to this person, obviously wanting to know why they lied about this or how much they knew about it. And, they ended up on some YouTube channels. I was actually on a panel with this person. And after that, they had mountains of accusations of their own against Ezra, claiming that Ezra had stalked them for 4 years and abused them for all this time. And that was red flags for us. But we're like, okay, this person clearly has involved themselves in the situation. So we just wanted to know what they knew. And what we did find out is that article about the woman that's staying with Ezra and the kids. We actually knew about that a week before that article came out, because that vintage devil person actually did say that Ezra Miller didn't contact somebody named Afari, that another story was coming out, and we didn't know what to think of that, because again, we don't know this person. That person had accusations of their own against Ezra, so we were just sitting here like, okay, thanks. And then the article came out, and we were just like, shit. So yeah,
Was that the
it's like
Rolling
a
Stones
lot
one?
of, yeah, that was the Rolling Stones one about the children and the child put the bowl in their mouth and stuff. That was that article, yes.
Oh, wow. Whew.
Yeah. The rabbit, listen,
And this
I
is
will
why
say
I follow
this.
Saggy. She's the smarterest person I know.
Aw, thank you, Bianca. But I will say this, like, this story is the most strangest story involving a celebrity that we have seen, especially if you're really paying attention to everything. There is a lot of crap happening that is coming out now, and a lot of it, though, partially Ezra's fault been to be with normal people, and this is what's happening, is that they're taking all these help them, and that's being addressed. Ezra has a cult. Ezra's taking all these women, and I'm like, Ezra's
Right.
polygamous. Like, they have multiple partners. That doesn't necessarily mean they're a cult. I don't think that that's the goal. I think just Ezra just doesn't want to settle down, you know. And it makes sense. Like, going around having multiple people you can have a relationship with and be intimate with
Right.
their own. But Ezra being running a cult, abusing women, abusing people, that's not what I have seen during this investigation of what's going on with this actor.
The parents were also receiving money from Ezra, right? Like he was
I
financially helping
I
people, I remember.
don't know if they were receiving by
Wait, hold on.
Breaking up, Saggy.
Yeah.
No, it got
activists.
saggy.
Oh no.
Are we
Of
losing
course. She says
It's affecting
activist,
this.
and that's when it cuts off again.
her?
It makes everything sound out of context.
Are you there, Saggy? Okay.
I'm
Well,
so laggy,
for my-
bro.
Yeah, there we go. There, you're perfect now. Okay, what were you saying? Activists, that we heard activists and then parents.
The parents are activists.
Mhm.
So Ezra has done things with them for whatever movement, their organization. So Ezra and
pipeline.
other celebrities have taken part. Yeah, the pipeline, especially the pipeline. Yeah.
So the weird thing to me is, and this is going to be a little bit heartless, but it also isn't bad advice. Ezra just needs to help themselves. They need to stop.
Mhm.
Trying
Well,
to
how
be the
similar
same.
is this to Johnny Depp? Because they say, well, Ezra is constantly acting crazy or whatever. Isn't that too similar to saying, well, because Johnny does so much
Slam
drugs and
cupboards.
drinking,
Yep.
it's that doesn't help his case. And I'm like,
Well,
well,
Go ahead. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
no, you go.
No, and it's so disingenuous to me. This week specifically kind of got me to my boiling point with the hypocrisy. People clipped a video to make
yeah.
Ezra look like he was acting like he was going to beat up a fan. But if you watch the full video in context, he's just play fight. You know what I mean? Like trying to make the fan calmer. And they clipped it to make an entire like, oh my god, he's crazy. And
That's
and
actually
it
what
was
they
nothing.
did with Vic Mignogna too.
Is it really?
Right. Well,
There was a
well, that's the
interview.
thing.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead, Bianca. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was this girl who was like during the whole Vic Mignogna thing. She was like, "Oh my gosh!" So here's this clip, and it was Vic Mignogna talking to her and somebody else, and he just takes their microphone and he's like, "Hi, I'm here with this person and that person, that camera person, blah 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 blah." And you're like, "Wow, that's such a dick move." But then somebody was like, "Hold up, we have the real full interview, not edited." And so you see the actual interview, which was like freaking very long. I sped it up. And the reason he did that was because the person herself kept stuttering and blanking out, and so he was trying to help her out to make it easier on them emotionally or whatever to
Right.
what's it called?
Calm,
Break the
kind of
ice.
calm their nerves. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. There is a lot of videos with involving Ezra that have been taken out of context, including the stuff that happened in Hawaii. There is some video footage that has been coming out showing Ezra before the infamous karaoke night at the karaoke bar,
Correct.
Right.
where Ezra's just sitting there looking like fine, smiling, talking with the people they're around, like just not. So, like I said, when we saw clips of the fighting, everyone was like, "Oh, well, how could you deny that?" Well, I don't know. The clips showed like the aftermath of what clearly we missed happened. Like what the context matters, people. What happened that
Yes.
builds up that Ezra was getting into fights?
Like me and Sagi were talking to these people on my thread. I'm like, yo, these people are crazy. They're like, he hit a woman, he assaulted a woman with a chair. And I'm like, okay, but what happened before? Was this in self-defense? Did they say something to get him angry? Was this justified? Was it not justified? Like, I don't like violence anyway, but like some people like just take it too
So
far that they will use violence. But like, what
so
happened?
the chair incident, the woman who is staying at Ezra's house, 3 kids, that chair incident was involving her. She actually did a video where she explained a little bit about it, where
Right.
the chair was thrown at her abusive ex and it accidentally hit the woman that was standing next to him, who was part of like his little harem he's got going on. And it was again an accident, but because Ezra Miller, celebrity, like obviously the headlines will not tell the truth, and the people who are saying
Right.
these stories aren't telling the truth. It's like Ezra didn't just like see somebody and see a woman on the street was like, I don't like your face, here's a chair to it. Like that's not what happened. So when people
But people
right,
think
so
that,
like
and
when
it's
people are talking
incredibly
about these
dumb.
things,
And I'm like,
right?
where's
It's
your
like you
logic?
guys
Where's
are
your
acting
common
like
sense?
right. You guys on the internet are acting like Ezra's just going around just smacking people for no reason. It's like people are giving Ezra reasons. Ezra was in Hawaii and Ezra was going to certain bars that people have told Ezra like maybe you shouldn't be going to those bars because the locals don't take too kind to outsiders like that. And like, nah, it's just a bar. I'm cool. Everybody likes me. I'm a personal person, like with anybody. They go in there, dressed up like they do, which is a little to some people, seeing a person who physically looks like a male with makeup on might like some
Right.
people are homophobic out there. So going into a bar with a bunch of people who you might run into a couple homophobic people, they might say something, especially when you get a little courage juice in you. They're gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hey, you're a little weird," and start a fight. Like we don't know what happened because we weren't there, but to just assume that Ezra is just crazy and getting into fights for no reason is a little insane. Like nobody does shit for no reason like that, especially a celebrity. Like obviously something's going on and everyone's just jumping on it. Like no, they're crazy, they're weird. Like nah, like why does Johnny is also weird. Like do you guys not understand? Johnny's
Oh
a
yeah.
little weird too.
He's
Seriously.
eccentric.
Yeah.
Johnny's definitely very eccentric, and I think Ezra is in a different way. I also look at a lot of people. How do I say this nicely? He's queer. He's different. People are going to look at that as a easy target, right?
Hmm.
And unfortunately, that's kind of what has happened. But the one situation I don't. Saggy, are you still here?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
she
here.
answered you.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what happened with the so a while back, the very first thing that before all this came out was that weird video where he looked like he was play fighting with a fan and he like choked her and took her down. The whole
Oh,
thing
the
looked
scary movie.
staged to me. I made a video about it and I'm like, this looks fake as fuck. And I still get comments like, Ezra's so innocent now. Like, bitch, what did he do? Like, what did he do? Can somebody tell me? But what happened in that situation? To my understanding, it was more like the fan was joking around and said they want to fight or something along those lines.
Yeah. That's basically what, like, even in the story that the person like told, basically she did say, like, yeah, I was talking shit, like I was like, you want to fight or I could take you or something like that, and Ezra was just like, oh, you want to fight, and again, like, I don't think that it was a good look for Ezra
Right.
to put their hands on a person's throat like that, and like everyone's like, well, they Ezra body slammed that woman. I'm like, that wasn't body
Oh,
slam. That was a body slam. That was the slowest body slam I've ever seen. That was like a slow motion body slam.
that
I
was.
mean, he's
It
still
looked
holding her
staged.
while he just, quote
Yeah.
unquote, throws her down. And I'm like, that's not a body slam because I'm pretty sure you just throw the person and let go, but he didn't let go. He still had her.
Right, like
And
he
then
slowly put her down.
yeah, like it very. That's what I thought initially when I talked. I mean, that was years ago, but I was like, this has to be staged. This looks fake as fuck. Like it looks like play fighting to me, or like it didn't look like he went up to somebody and was just like wailing on him. You know what I mean? Like you can tell a difference in a level of violence that you see on a screen. And then that video came out. It was the weirdest thing. So he had that video come out about when he was like the grand something wizard, like the Ku
Yeah.
Klux Klan. And literally all day that day, I was trying to figure out what it was. And then I did a video later on when I finally found out the city he was talking about had an arson to a black family. And the motive, it alleged motive at the time, was a hate crime. And that's what he was talking about. Nobody understood. So I did a video on it trying to explain it. Holy fuck. I never had so many people in my life come to my video. It had to have been shared on like somebody's Discord or somebody's message boards or something. I've never had so many literal white supremacists come to my channel and just go fucking off about Ezra being queer. Go off. And I think I did a stream with Dr. Soup about it. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen, that people were offended over him being upset at the Klan. Like, wow, in whose right mind, why are you offended over that? And silence fell over the crowd.
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Yeah, I was trying to look up because I was trying to figure out like the second arrest in Hawaii. Was it the same people from the first incident?
The one with the couple?
Yeah, because wasn't there a second one? I didn't know if it was connected to the first one.
I thought the second one was when he was like, what was a restraining order against like a pair of his
He
friends in
broke
Hawaii
in or something.
Yeah, they said he
Like,
broke in and
broke in.
stole a wallet and called the wife a whore or something.
Right.
Oh.
I don't know, dude. That whole story is crazy.
Like
This
it's
That's what I was
Justin
trying
guy
to
is
figure out if it was
crazy.
connected.
wait, why? Did I miss something?
No, I was trying
Talking
to
to
figure out if it
her.
was connected
Oh.
because I thought somebody said it was connected. I'm sorry, I'm lagging too.
I didn't know we were sleeping. You guys gotta wake up. Apparently, we're all sleeping. I don't
Hello?
Like,
I guess so.
Sorry, I was responding. Sorry, I was responding to Twitter real quick because like this person was like arguing with me, saying I was lying that the quartering blocked me because I replied to somebody else who was replying to the quartering, and they're like literally convinced that I'm lying about being blocked by the quartering, and everyone's like shitting on them on Twitter. It's like, bro, I literally showed that I got blocked by the quartering. They're like, oh, I could do like, you're a special kind of breed, aren't you? But yeah, no, this situation.
we're attacking
no,
men.
like,
How are we
honestly,
attacking
like,
men if
everything-
we're defending
What
ourselves?
the fuck? This has to be a bot, you guys. This has to be a bot.
Makes sense because he was
Yeah,
listing all the stuff
What?
that guys also do, like prostitution and OnlyFans and strip clubs and cheating. And I'm like, guys do this too. I don't know what you're talking about.
How's that related?
I was
Justin,
say,
this
'cause
is
somebody
your
in
one
the-
and only warning.
somebody that said
The end boss? Heck no.
Okay,
You're
whatever.
like the less than
Justin's
low level tier boss. You're the one that, for level 1. I have
Oh, it's not a
male
bot.
family members. I don't ever
They're
blame them
replying
for
to you.
anything. Who?
Oh my god, I honestly thought it was a bot. You're absolutely insane, Justin. This is your one and only warning.
Shoot, I
Chill.
got dyslexia. You wrote Justin, and my brain thought
Keep watching
Dustin.
Fox News. I can about guarantee
Oh my
none of us
God.
do.
Who watches news nowadays? We're fucking
I know,
boring
really.
and
My finger
melodramatic.
slipped. Sorry.
I watch some news, but I don't watch Fox. Lord have mercy.
finger slipped.
Apparently,
I
this is your
watch the
first day
news
at my
Tristan
channel.
gives me.
That's right. No, you don't, because you didn't know about Amber Heard.
No,
If
I see
wanted
the
to know, I
thumbnails.
would just ask my
okay.
grandma.
What's that? What?
I just said if I wanted the news, I would just ask my grandma. She's glued to the TV, so I'm like, that's what I would do.
I
Well,
watch,
yeah.
I watch
Sorry, I got it for
breaking
you.
points sometimes. I that's about all the news I watched, but okay. Yeah, it's just a weird situation. It does feel like he's being unfairly targeted. But I like people look at eccentric behavior as a bad thing. And that's where my issue is, because a lot of us are let's be real, not a single one of us on this panel are normal. In the
Would you
nicest
say
way possible.
we don't have what?
We're not,
We're not
none
normal.
of us are normal. We all have a little
Oh.
our own little eccentric attitudes. And that's why I think Ezra is getting a lot of this on him, because he is a little out there. There has been some weird videos without context. Like, we went through that, what was it, the body cam, and I was like, what, dude, come on, like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, that
Chill
was kind
out.
of weird.
Oh, somebody got
It was
here late
super weird.
named Jillian. She has a question for the chat.
I just got here. Okay. All right, let me bring it up. I got here late. Have Dakota Iron Eyes the incident that precipitated the restraining order, and the 1-year-old teething with a bullet already been covered. So yes, but we'll kind of go through it again. The 1-year-old bullet stuff was all a lie. Like, CPS, to my understanding, has been there. Nothing was wrong. That woman actually, and Robert or Hooded Justice, Hominus, somebody put in Saggy's link in the chat for Jillian, because she has a video on there from the mother of that 1-year-old talking about that situation and talking about the man that made those accusations was her ex, beat the fuck out of her. You know, she was pushed out of a car. She had to jump out of a car to be safe. This man was downright insane. And Saggy has a great video on there kind of explaining it all. But yeah, that was all face. Our face. Wow, I can talk tonight.
Fake.
That was all fake. Thank you, Robert. It was all fake, and we kind of saw that all drizzle out because Rolling Stones printed it, right? I mean, it's Rolling Stones, so let's be real. We know it's not decent reporting. But the stuff with Dakota, we did talk about, and again, she was one of those that she's an adult. They're non-binary. My apologies again. And they basically want to be able to be themselves, and it sounds like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Bianca or Saggy, if you know, it sounds like their parents are very much so not accepting of how they want to live their life.
They sound insane.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Like, they want to...
Yeah.
We'll get there, Jarrell. We'll get there. Have faith.
I'm waiting for the Rippaverse. We're getting there.
If you look at the man who, mother of the children, if you look into him, he has a very lengthy rap sheet himself. He has at least 5 or 6 domestic violence charges on his record. He has a very
Is that
lengthy
what Cartoon and
criminal record
Comics put on
himself.
the chat?
Yeah, he has a very lengthy record, and you could see the mother of the child being listed as the plaintiff of the situation, I guess you want to put it that way. Like, she was involved in the domestic violence charges. So he lied. And the weird thing is that, like, a lot of people aren't paying attention that's coming out as well, is that a lot of these people that are coming out with accusations against Ezra have one thing in common. They all have been talking to Tokata's father, Chase Iron Eyes. So actually, Chase Iron Eyes made a tweet where they were saying, if you have a story about Ezra Miller, to email trashtheflash@gmail, whatever. I actually
What? That's his email?
that email. Yes, they did. They named it Trash the Flash. Yes.
Man, that sounds good, but not in a good way.
But
I
actually did that email and said, hey, I was a witness about what happened in Hawaii. Can I get in contact with the Rolling Stones? And without even like asking who I am or anything, Chase Iron Eyes or whoever runs that email immediately sent me a contact for Rolling Stones.
Shut up. Oh,
dead serious.
God.
Yes.
What is wrong
I'm
with
sorry, what are we talking about? Shane said something to read.
That is ridiculous that they wanted to get some dirt on him that badly. What's the vendetta there? No. I guess I just don't understand the vendetta.
So I theorize that they really want their kid back to the point that they need to basically starve their child to have to go home, which to me seems like a little bit of a manipulation move, which is like you are trying to take the person away that is providing for your child so that your child has no choice but to come home where you will be there with open arms. And that's what I think is happening, is that they're trying to just starve Takata's resources so that Takata's forced to go home.
Wow, that's terrible. That's all. Like, what kind of parents do that?
Well, Takata literally said that the reason why they left the first place is because of the toxic family. Like, they wanted to get away from the family. And, like, they are basically, the parents are proving to me personally why Takata left. Like, what kind of parents do this stuff? Like, if you felt like your child was being kidnapped and or whatever, like, why are you not going to the authorities? And then they're on Twitter asking people to find their kid. And I'm like, you could just look on Takata's public Instagram page. They are literally posting where they are. They are posting that they're in Arizona. They're posting pictures of them in Arizona right now, like getting the help that they said they were going to get for their mental issues. So, like, I just don't understand what kind of parents and why people aren't seeing these parents. They just say, oh, these parents, how awful it must be for them. Like, they don't care. They're not looking for their kid because they know where their kid is.
The weird thing is,
I find it so weird. They'll believe the victim, but only if it caters to them. They're like, sorry, we need you to talk bad about Ezra. And she's like, well, here's the thing. My parents were pretty abusive. They want to force me into a conversion camp, and that's why I'm on the run. They're like, sorry, we don't believe you, the victim. You're lying to save Ezra. And she's like, sorry, but Ezra's not even with me right now. I'm on my own. She's like, sorry, we don't believe you. You must be kidnapped and beat and handcuffed, etc.
Right. Exactly. It's believe when convenient. It's so weird to me. I almost feel bad, like, for the guy, for Jesus Christ, I can mess up one more time tonight, I swear. I get one more freebie. That was my last one, I promise. I feel bad for Ezra. I feel bad for Takata because they just want to live a normal life and be happy. And their parents clearly aren't accepting of them. And that's kind of probably what they were seeking out. And that's like, Ezra has known Takata's family for like 6 years. Why now all of a sudden is this a huge issue?
I can tell you why. Because Takata came out as queer, and that is apparently Ezra's fault because Ezra is queer because Takata's been hanging around Ezra, but like they clearly didn't have issues with Ezra being queer. but when their kid was queer, it was an issue because that's basically what Takata called him, homophobic. And then on
Right.
top of that, like it makes sense. Of course, they're not gonna be homophobic to Ezra, who's a celebrity and helping them with their organization. So of course they're gonna be civil, but obviously Takata felt differently. So when Takata came out as queer, and decided to leave with Ezra when they turned 18, that became an issue. And that's what it is. This is all about the parents trying to control Takata and use this situation to probably further their activism, because now, like, Ezra's gone, Ezra's not cool with them because of how they treated the Takata. So now that celebrity is off the books. So now they're basically, just like, whatever, we're gonna just go big. And like I said, like, the person who messaged Chase Iron Eyes, Takata's father, basically came out and said, yeah, I didn't have the evidence, I lied about this, I just kind of went ahead and then Chase knew about that for a while. There's no way that they didn't know that person
Right.
didn't lie. And everyone's like, well, did they confirm that they talked to him? Why would you? You already opened up, you kicked the hornet's nest, you went to the media. Now you admitting that you lied or you ran with information that wasn't fact checked, and you based your accusations on what somebody else told you, you're going to look stupid, and then you're opening yourself up for a lawsuit. Of course they're not going to admit that they were lied to, because then they have to admit that they ran with that lie, and that could open them up for a defamation case.
For the warrant thing that people had been talking about, he was wanted, Ezra was wanted. Wasn't that tribal law?
I believe so, but also like it's not a criminal thing. I think people misunderstand. It's not a warrant that is out for Ezra. It's a summons to court. It's a summons to trial. It's not a warrant.
It's just
a warrant
a summons.
Right, it's just a summons, and a summons is not the same as a warrant. A summons, mainly its primary purpose is for the courts to, like, make sure that you know that you are being summoned to court, and that
Right.
you acknowledge that you have a court date. Now, if Ezra doesn't accept the summons, what happens is they waive their rights to defend themselves in court, which means they go back and try to open up that case and defend themselves because they waive that right, and it could also result into a warrant. The trial is based on a crime. So, like, if they're being charged with something criminal and they don't show up to defend themselves, then they might have a bench warrant for their arrest. But that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with just a simple summons, and that's all it is.
This is insane. I'm sorry. It's insane that it has been this overblown. Like,
Sakura.
we went through it with Johnny. Did nobody learn any lessons? Like, I know there's a few people. I'm not saying that. Just speaking in generalities. Like, I see some of these Johnny Depp channels running, sprinting with this story.
Like the Flash.
Like the Flash. That's right.
It's weird because when I was talking to somebody, I was like, listen, it's a big confusing thing. Like, not everything is real. A lot of the stuff is where they're taken out of context. It's been a lie, and I'm like, here's the truth. And they were like, well, yeah, but, and that's the thing that freaking irritates me. They're like, well, yeah, but he threw a chair. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with the grooming situation? It's like, well, yeah, but the KKK. And I'm like, doesn't have anything to do with it at all. They're like, you seem to like defending douches.
I get that
And I'm
too.
like, and I was like, and you seem like you like to take things from headlines up your ass. So maybe stop, okay? Because you're putting it all the way up there.
Somebody in the chat earlier was like, you can't compare Ezra to Johnny Depp. And I'm like, but why can't you? Both actors have been falsely accused. Both actors' careers were on the line. Johnny lost his gigs. Ezra's on their way to maybe losing gigs. And how can you not sit there and say this isn't comparable to Johnny Depp? That we have people accusing them of things without concrete evidence, and they're basically suffering consequences without due process. And we're sitting here like, you can't compare the two. Why? Because Ezra has a little bit more public spats than Johnny did. Like, we don't even know the context of what happened with all this stuff. Everyone's just assuming that they just see somebody having a mental breakdown. I mean, hell, we talked about it before on this channel when we thought the same thing in the beginning until more information came out, and I was like, wait, there's no way
absolutely.
that this is all true. There's got to be somebody's got to be lying about something here. There's no way. And then on top of that, when you're looking at all the evidence, there is none, guys. There really is no concrete evidence. So why is it y'all okay giving Johnny the benefit of the doubt? Because Johnny released a clip of Amber admitting that she was the one that abused Johnny. Then everyone changed their tune. But there are so many people close to Ezra and even witnesses who have come out and said, hey, this isn't true. This is the full context. And it's being blatantly, disgustingly ignored. And you have YouTubers just siphoning and just generating all that click and money off of this. And they are supposed to be the ones that pride themselves on bringing you the news and bringing you the truth. And these are the same YouTubers who made so much money milking the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And wake up, people. Like, literally, just wake up and actually use your brain. Stop relying on news articles. Hell, stop relying on YouTubers. You don't want to listen to me? Take 2 seconds and go on Twitter and follow all these accounts that are posting up. Some of Ezra's team is on Twitter posting, like, legit receipts to back the claims that Ezra did nothing wrong. If you don't want to take our word for it, do your own research. Think for yourselves. Use those brains of yours and stop depending on YouTubers and news articles who aren't personally directly involved in this to tell you what to believe. Because I guarantee you, if some of you guys actually did start looking at the stuff coming out about on Ezra Miller's side and people bringing the receipts to corroborate these stories and debunk some of these stories, you guys might start thinking a little differently and stop just assuming that Ezra is guilty.
Right, exactly. Let me get this super chat real quick. Drew from Comics Elite. Hello.
What?
Good evening, everyone from Chicago Fan Expo. That is awesome. Tristan, check your email for some awesome news coming up. Ha ha ha. That means I will know it all before you guys. Mwahaha. Awesome. Thank you so much, Drew. Make sure you guys check out Comics Elite. They do great work. We actually talked about them today. Me and Bianca did in our crowdfunding video. So that'll be out tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Let's... I feel like that's Bianca's theme tonight. It's just wait, what? Wait, what?
I keep looking at words, and then it's not making me listen to you. And then I remembered, I feel like I cut Carrie off a while ago. I'm sorry, Carrie.
No, it's okay.
Oh, goodness. So before we go to the Rippaverse stuff, do you have anything to add about Ezra, Carrie, that maybe we didn't take into account?
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of listening to some of this evidence. I haven't heard about it before. I mean, the video you sent me, I saw the one with the mother of the kids that they're accusing of eating bullets. So it's kind of fascinating. And I think the problem is people get triggered so quickly when they see videos. I mean, I'll admit, when I saw the videos, like when you had the video of him getting arrested, it's like, what is wrong with him? But
yeah, I was the same way.
About it. Yeah, now as you talk about it, you start to question things.
Yeah, so, I was the same way. I understand.
I can tell you that body cam footage. Well, I was going to say, I can tell you what happened in that body cam footage that led up to that. So, Ezra was at a bar, and somebody approached them, and there was a verbal altercation. Ezra, I'm assuming Ezra got in the person's face just based on came to that story. And what happened was the person pushed Ezra and Ezra spit in their face, and that started a little bit of a brawl. And this is actually corroborated with, you see the body cam footage where Ezra is saying, like, I was assaulted. I was assaulted, as well. Like, I was assaulted first. And then the person who was the one who was assaulted by Ezra, like, you can hear them in the audio saying that he spit in my face. So that does corroborate that that's what happened. The person came up to Ezra and them had an altercation. The person pushed Ezra spit in the person's face, and that's when the fight broke out. But then all you see is, like, Ezra got arrested for disorderly conduct. They didn't get arrested for assault. They got arrested for disorderly conduct because, as you saw in the clip, Ezra was kind of resisting and kind of like arguing with the cops and freaking out because they were very upset about what happened, not making it justifiable, like, yes, you should comply with the police. But at the same time, remember, they weren't arrested for assault. They were arrested for disorderly conduct.
Spitting in someone's face is such a low thing.
Yeah,
Like, he didn't
that's so
punch him,
gross.
he didn't grab broken glass, he didn't shove him back, he just spit in his face.
Yuck! That's
Ugh.
so gross. So gross. What about you, Kate? Do you have anything to add before we move on to the? I just want to make sure we can focus because I know a lot of people have been asking about covering the Rippaverse stuff.
Oh yeah. Not much. I mean, I know my opinions like from a while ago. Can't remember the last time I made the like one of my Ezra videos. I was like, yeah, like after thinking about it and listening to what, Saki had to say, I'm like, "Oh shit, there's still a lot of information I need to hear about." And that's unfortunately a big part in the community that we don't really go and listen to, like, what others look through and, actually go through the receipts,
Right.
actually look at everything before making an opinion. I rush in like the idiot I am.
We all do.
Yeah, exactly.
We all do.
But it's nice to be informed, that's
all
all I have to say.
To be fair, it's not just you. There's been so many times I've made videos to go 2 days later. I'm sorry, guys. I was wrong about this. It's human instinct, and especially YouTube promotes that because if you don't get that video out right when the news is happening, it's dead the next day. So it's
Right.
really hard to do. But yeah, even like Saggy said, when we were first covering it, we were like, "What's the matter? What's going on?" And then the truth starts to kind of unravel, and you're like, "Oh fuck, not again, not again! We can't do this again as a society. We all lived through Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Come on now." Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Rippaverse. Has everybody seen the trailer by chance?
I
I
saw a
have.
trailer.
Saggy?
It wasn't really.
Yes,
It
I
wasn't
have.
really giving
Yes.
much of.
I kind of watched it.
Is it more like you got bored a little bit in the middle and just be like,
Yeah, I
eh?
didn't
Yeah.
really see anything there to keep me in. So I was like,
Yeah, there wasn't
whatever.
I
really
I'll
personally
see
about
what
think
the
comes
actual
out.
the
comics.
way the video is filmed. I don't like the background.
Let me.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a community member chat or a thing, and it doesn't show up on here. So let me get it real quick. Everywhere community. Hello, how are you tonight? During height of C19, spitting in the face was a real crime. Yeah, sometimes it can be now too. With like if somebody has
Mhm.
like is HIV positive or something like that. So yeah, that's spitting in the face is like the ultimate form of just disrespect. I can't. Ugh.
Wait.
Thank you, by the way. Gary, thank you so much. Hold up. I've got the real question. Pineapple on or off of pizza? I say on. And who is your same gender crush, even if you're straight? My man crush is Carl Urban. Ooh, Carl Urban is a good choice. Okay. I'm saying pineapple on pizza. It is fucking delicious. Who's with me?
I
Agreed.
agree.
Yes!
I've never had it.
Bianca,
I've never had
it's
it, so.
yummy.
Get out,
Oh my
Bianca.
gosh.
I don't like pineapple, so why would I want it on my pizza?
How do
like it
you
in
not like
general.
pineapple? Pineapple's
Like-
such a treat.
Oh no, it makes me fidget. And when I have it, like, I can drink that fake artificial pineapple soda though.
Oh god.
It's because it doesn't taste like pineapple. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Oh my god, it's so good. I
Sorry,
love
not
it.
sorry.
And, same crush, same gender crush. I have so many. It changes all the time. Like it literally changes every single week. Right now, it's a girl on TikTok that does videos. Last week it was probably I there's always Ratcatcher too. Oh, she's beautiful. Anna de Armas. Oh my god. There's so many. So many.
Mm.
Bianca, do you have a girl crush?
No,
No. What about you, Kate?
I'm boring. I
Uh,
know. I'm sorry.
It depends. Like, I'm all open for, like, having crushes on, like, animated or comic book female characters. I can't say right now because I'm like too many to say. Too many.
I know. I'm the same. I'm like every girl every week. Come on now. Like Like I watch a shoe on head video, I'm like, oh, it's her. Watch something else, I'm like, oh, it's her.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, it's bad. What about you, Carrie?
It's a good question. If I have to
It's
go with
okay, Carrie.
somebody,
You can say Bianca. It's okay.
no. Okay, yeah.
That
no,
reminds me.
I would maybe Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, good choice. Good
Don't
choice.
take
What
my
about you?
woman. It's my woman.
Fight.
She's a
I'll get
great
the
woman.
torches.
I'll get the-
It's always Scarlett Johansson. For a while, it was Angelina Jolie, but
Oh,
it's
she's great.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
See, Saggy has great taste.
Yes, you have great taste in women. I think Angelina Jolie was like my first real girl crush because I saw her as Tomb Raider or Lara Croft, and I was like, I'm in love. I love her. Thank you so much, Gary. Joseph, what is wrong with you? Pineapple on
He
pizza
is
is a
perfectly
felony.
sane.
Right, you hooligans.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. Well, we know
No.
Joseph has bad taste.
All right, I'm banning Joseph from my channel. Thank you.
Poor Joseph. He just has bad taste like Bianca. Okay, so
I do have bad taste and stuff.
okay, so this Rippaverse stuff. I seen it. I've heard about it like there for a long time. Or if I did a reaction, I think to a couple, maybe just one, maybe just the Neil Gaiman one of Rippa's video, and people are like, just wait till the Rippaverse comes out. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do that. So I was interested to see what it had to say. But I still don't know what it had to say. Like I don't know. You didn't sell me anything except for a giant right-wing virtue signal. You didn't tell me I think you may have said one character's name, but that's it.
It said two characters' name, but
two characters.
Their names are unique. So I haven't read
What
it.
are they?
Obviously, I can't tell you because they're so unique. I don't even remember their freaking names. Yanishka or Yanika, Yanjeka, something like that. For one of the girls.
Is that actually a name? I'm sorry if. What is that actually a name?
That might be an actual name.
Like
maybe it's like a European name because she was white.
It's not catchy. It's not catchy.
No.
Oh. Like
but I didn't know. My big issue was like, you told me nothing.
Right.
Absolutely
that was my
fucking nothing about why I should be interested in your books. Besides, you should be a victim of the main comic book industry.
Okay, like
just or how much money I put into it.
Yes,
a lot of people seem to be thinking we should play the trailer, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna get distracted again. I'm sorry. It was the first 5 seconds. I was out.
I'm telling you, the background where he's there and the background of that looks terrible. It looks like you're filming outside and then you try to add some sort of special effects to make it look nice, and it doesn't look nice. It looks worse, and it irritates me when some people do that because they're like, oh my gosh, it looks cool. I'm like, no, it doesn't look good.
What's the name? Isam?
Yeah, that was the guy's name. Isam. That's why I kept thinking Icon, because I'm like, if I think of Icon, I'm gonna remember Isam.
I thought
but then
it looked
I still
like
couldn't remember.
I thought it looked. That's exactly what I thought too. When I was like, this looks like okay, and the art looked fine. I mean, it looked like typical comic.
The art is great. The art is great. The art is good. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The art is good. He got really good artists on there.
What were you gonna say, Carrie?
My thing is the costumes don't look very great. I mean, it looked like that generic Power Man suit.
Yes.
Oh, man, are we gonna watch it, or like if so?
Well, I want to say this because I'm gonna have that unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people listen. I don't care if people like Young Rippa personally. It's not my business. I don't really care. But I will say, like, I have to have respect for someone who is like literally putting their money where their mouth is. Like, hey, I hate the industry. okay, so I'm gonna make my own thing. Whether it's good or not, that's
Yeah.
subjective. Don't really care. But it's like I at least have to say, at least he talks about, he built this channel talking about how much the industry is bad and all this stuff, and now he's like making his own thing. So like good for you. I think that's so what people should be doing. Like instead of spending all your time bitching about the industry, make something your
Yes.
own.
Yes,
Yeah, I
like
agree with that.
same. I was when I talked about it on my stream the other day, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like like he's doing something. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, he's not going to have a lot of people. Oh, he's not going to get any traction because he has a big following." I told Robert that he is at least going to be getting
Oh, he's gonna
very
sell.
big
Yeah.
money, you know. And then
Oh yeah.
somebody was saying in the chat, I didn't remember who was saying it in the chat, but they said that he has 15K
Yeah.
subscribed to his mailing list right
Yeah, the
now,
nerd
which is a pretty
wow.
good starting point, you know. And then if they buy, let's say they buy one for themselves, one for a friend or a family member, that's
Who
already a
does
lot of
that?
money.
I don't
What
buy
happened?
stuff for my friend. No, I'm just kidding.
There's some people who do. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I will be that person. I will buy my friends or my family members comic books and they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Um
Hold
I
on,
just didn't like
pause.
how a lot of things were said, and instead I was telling Robert like, "You know what would be interesting? Like making character trailers for the
Yeah.
Yes.
comic books. Like
Something
one
It was
with
each
the comic.
week or something like that."
I cringed so bad. I'm sorry. I have to say it. He literally said, I don't care about your race or your genetic makeup. Duh, motherfucker. Nobody does. They care about dollars. Like, nobody says that kind of. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was
Obviously,
cringe.
it's referencing when Vita Ayla was trying to get more, encourage more minorities to apply for the editing position, thinking that she, for some reason, can actually be able to hire people with her own power, which was
She
false.
doesn't have that
And
power.
there was a huge
Right.
requirement, which was you have to know an extreme amount of Marvel history to be an editor. Like they gave like a very specific description of how much you should know to even apply for the job. And I was like, "Whoa, I do not know
Yeah.
nearly that much. I would not be qualified."
And there's nothing wrong with encouraging people to apply anyways. Like she's not part of that process. She was just saying, "Here, this job's available. I encourage you to whatever, I don't know specifically what it
She
said."
was like, "Hey, let's get some more brown and black people. Let's get more brown and black people hired, and because we need a lot more for this editing position. We need more doing this work, that kind of stuff." Which is like not saying, "Hey, I'm forcing you. Hey, you better freaking apply." It's encouragement, you
And it's
know. But
also
people
not
were calling
saying
her
white
racist for
man
that.
can't
I'm like, "What?"
apply. I do remember that because I made a video and people like, why are you caping for Vita Ayla? I'm like, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. It's okay. There are people, like, if you're going to work close with somebody, you want to feel comfortable. And I use this example all the time, but if I go to doctors or even, uh, OBGYNs, eye doctors, anything, I always go to a female. I feel uncomfortable. So, her encouraging could just show that she maybe feels uncomfortable around men. Like, I'm not saying that's the situation, but I also don't see it as an issue to encourage people of color to apply for a job when she has no say in it. She's just posting the job.
Yeah, she was just literally just retweeting it. But Robert made a good point. He's, Robert is a seasoned comic reader. I am not as nowhere near as seasoned as he is with comic reading.
Right,
So I
same.
was taking the perspective more of a newbie while he was taking the perspective of an experience. And he said, like, he was asking me, "Don't you feel this and that when he's talking about this and this?" And I'm like, "Wow, I never thought about that because with my experience, I would have thought this, and this."
Right.
Uh, and I'm just like, okay, I kind of understand now how it wouldn't be that much for normies, especially when he was talking about in his video that, hey, we're doing this because the comic industry doesn't treat fans well, so this is for them. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be.
Right.
I mean, it can definitely give them a place, but obviously not exclusively for them. You should be catering to everybody who would be interested, like me. The reason I'm somewhat interested in where this is going to go is because I'm naturally a curious person. As
Right.
you'll see tomorrow with me and Tristan's bad ideas video, you'll see why. I'm not going to say any on this stream, but
No
I'm
spoilers,
interested in where
God.
this goes. I did say that if he has a Christian character, that will be an automatic buy for me. But I do not like, this is just me, I am tired of shared universes. Like, to
Yeah.
understand this character, you have to read this book, even because they're a guest on another book and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't want that. I want separate, like maybe one shots is what they're called. I don't know.
Right.
I like separate universes. Everything doesn't
Isolated.
have to connect together. You know what I'm saying? What'd
Yeah,
you say, Carrie?
like isolated
Yeah.
universes, like in manga.
Yeah, like that's what kind of comics I've been buying from like Kickstarter and Indiegogo nowadays. And every single one, for some reason, they're deciding now that they're going to be doing a shared universe. And I'm like, wait, that's not why I followed you. You said you were going to be separate. Some of them did say they were going to be separate at first, and then they're changing it to no, it's going to be a shared universe. And I'm like, no, I don't want to buy this comic or this older comic to read, to know of them in this comic, because I don't care about them. That's not what I got the comic to learn. I didn't want to learn about other people. I want to learn about this one, solely this one. And then he said he's like, oh, it's going to be a continuity and a timeline. And then later on, he says that when they are like making cameos of some sort in another comic book, there's going to be like soft, minimal reboots.
Why
And
are
I
you
said,
already talking reboots? You don't have a book out yet.
yeah.
Weird to me.
What were we talking about again?
He was
Your
talking
dog?
about yes,
I hear puppies.
puppy wuppies.
And I don't even mind the shared universe as much as you do. I do like complete stories, but why are you making something that's telling about reboots, telling about wanting to go into live action or animation? Why aren't
And
you
video
telling
games?
us? Yeah, why aren't you telling? We have no idea what your fucking story's about. We know two
I'm
characters'
still
names,
waiting.
and a
Oh, we're
lot
still talking about the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
of
Welcome back.
Because I was like, I was going through the video and I was like, there's nothing in here except for a couple of pages of the book, and I'm not gonna say it's bad or anything. It's just you should probably show more of it so you can, push people to want to buy it. That's
Exactly.
It's
No,
weird, like, and it has this whole narrative of making the buyer a victim of the main industry. Like, it feels very much so like he's trying to
Uncle Sam,
sell.
we want you.
Yes. Like, he really tries hard to manipulate his audience into thinking that they're a victim that are like not respected by the entire industry, or that their childhood has been taken away from them, or that they've butchered these characters, or why go with that narrative? Why not instead? And it goes back to the thing of it, his whole content is based around that. If you're creating something, why are you still holding on to that? Why not do actually your job and tell us about the story? I'm sorry. I know it's not a popular opinion, but the whole fucking thing came off like a right-wing virtue signal. I'm sorry it did. I know. Yeah, I can respect he's doing it himself, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But
I was super surprised
not
that he
doing it the
added
right way.
politics.
Right? Like, we're an apolitical thing, but
I thought he was not gonna mention it. I'm like, oh, he's not mentioning it. That's pretty good. That's good. And then he was like, we're not gonna beat you over the head with politics. And I'm like, why? You didn't have to say that though. Why'd you say
Well, he
it?
did. Well, no. He did have to say it because that's kind of like what his channel was kind of built off of, like calling out
Shouldn't
the
people
whole.
already know that already since his
Yeah.
audience is what he's already catering to? So wouldn't that be common sense?
I mean, yes and no. I think that also, if you're trying to make a comic book, you also want to reach out to outside of your community as well. So obviously, putting
But
that
that's the
message
thing.
in.
He doesn't sound like he wants to reach out. He said this is for the people who don't like how the comic industry is treating them. He never says anything about bringing in a new audience, just the older audience that are tired of the Marvel and DC. If he was talking about a newer audience throughout the video, that would have been great. And I'm like,
Hey, we
okay,
lost-
cool. Bringing in that new audience. Let's go. But the only way he can
That's
get
scary.
a newer audience is if somebody who already knows Rippa is recommending his work, because I'm not sure how he's going to be advertising or sponsoring. I know he said he's not going to do any sponsors. Never mind, scratch that. But he says he's mostly just going to do like pre-orders. So like getting that out there is going to be pretty hard unless you also
Right.
have a Twitter. So he is getting popular on Twitter.
Put it this way: if his comic books are good, I think the comics will speak for themselves. I think getting them out and getting them seen starts with getting them in the hands of his community. And if they're good enough, obviously, I'm assuming because he's dipping his toe into comics, obviously he's going to probably get involved with Comicsgate. And then you're getting that community in because now people are like, oh, this is a new comic book creator, and they're going to flock to him. So I think, like I said, it's going to be this whole thing is like, as long as his books are good, that they will sell themselves, but getting them
Right.
out there first is what
They'll
he needs
sell
to
themselves
do.
anyway.
Mm,
His
Right.
base will buy them. That's why he doesn't have to talk about his characters or the world because people are gonna buy it anyway.
She's
Just
back.
support that. We miss you.
The thing with Comicsgate, which is kind of a fault, and this is me being
Produces.
uh
I'm just saying.
what?
Just put it out there. Now then, go ahead.
So like this is me when I was hugely part of Comicsgate. Like it was extremely hard for them to get that new audience. There was mostly just all of them supporting themselves, and that's how they would get money. But they were
Right.
all doing it so much that they were all running out of funds supporting each other, even if they didn't like what they saw. And I'm like, okay, this isn't smart. If you are interested in the story, if you're interested in the art, buy it. Don't buy it because it has crappy art. Don't buy it if you're not interested in the story. And there was a lot of them buying multiple books just because so they can get the funds up. And there was a majority of people who do that even with regular crowdfunded stuff on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And as soon as it's funded, boom, they will ask for a refund so they won't buy the book and the money goes down.
What?
That's a heavily
That
thing.
happens?
Not even on Comicsgate. This is a regular Kickstarter Indiegogo thing. They will do that. And it's a piece of crap thing to do. And I hate
Well-
it so much.
Well, here's the thing that I did like that he said in his little promotional video is that if he's telling the truth about it, which I'm assuming he is, he was basically like, y'all ain't gotta wait for these books; they're already ready to go. And I was like,
yes.
that's probably
yeah.
the smartest way to start is like have them ready to
absolutely.
go. So that's why I was like, hey, like he has them ready to go. Like he's been low key working on this for a while. He has enough ready to go. Like that's a cool thing. Nobody has to wait. They don't have to crowdfund it just to get the first issues out. He's ready to go, which is actually
I mean, it all
really
depends.
smart.
There's a lot of people who crowdfund who already have the books ready. They just need the funds so they can pay their people. Their artists, their editors, their blah 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 blah.
Right, but Bianca, he already has them. Like they're already being shipped to him. Like they're already ready to go. Like he said in the video that they're on their way to his location so he can send them out to people who get them.
Yeah,
So, he already
a lot of
has that
times this
stuff.
happens. It doesn't take long.
But
for
that's
the
good.
money
But that's
from
good.
Kickstarter.
Right, but I'm saying that's good. But that's good that he already has them like ready to go.
Yeah, that's
where
good.
most
That's
people
one of the
need the
good
money
things.
just to where most people want the money just to get it to go, but it's like he already has it
Money,
ready to go,
money.
which I think is good. Like that's a good step.
I'm
Let me
hoping
get these super
how
chats, guys. Hold on 1 second. Joseph, thank you so much. Which Rippaverse gets its first fully funded show on the WB network, and how long does it last? We don't know. We don't know the name of any of it. We have no idea.
we don't know
Hey,
the names.
listen,
We don't know
It
how
can't be
much.
worse than Batwoman. It can't be worse than Batwoman. I'll just say
The
that.
show?
I'm sorry.
Oh
Yeah, I hated Batwoman.
Oh,
Batwoman
yeah.
was trash. Who the fuck asked for Batwoman to be made in live action? Nobody asked, but
I
here
mean,
it was
yeah.
anyways.
Batwoman would be a great show if they followed like the J.H. Williams run. If they followed
Ooh.
good runs, if they actually
The
put
Steve
the time
Orlando run
into
was good
it.
too.
Yes. That Batwoman would be a great show. It's just a CW problem. CW has a huge issue with
We already know
just
who it
taking-
is.
yeah,
Greg.
taking things and ruining it. Yeah, Greg Berlanti. Oh my god. Just fire his ass. Everywhere community. What's the word count for an average 40-page comic?
Ooh.
I guess it depends if you go from Bendis to Tom King or somebody like Ron V, who kind of writes more, and then you could go to somebody like Tom Taylor, who writes less.
Have you seen Brian Michael Bendis and how much he writes?
Yes. Thank you, Everywhere community, and thank you, Joseph. Gary, thank you so much. Okay. So who's your favorite Stranger Things character, and why is it Steve or Hopper?
Okay, so mine is Hopper because that reminds me of a rabbit or a frog, something that hops.
Me and
I've
Carrie
never seen
actually
Stranger
have.
Things.
I know it's weird. Me and Carrie are having a review out later this week, but my favorite I really liked Eddie this season, and oh my god, I love that. Okay, no spoilers here, but you'll know what I'm talking about. That scene where he's playing Metallica on his guitar.
Oh my god, I watched that like 5 times today at
Amazing!
work,
Yes!
bro. That scene, and like having
Goosebumps.
Dustin just jumping, banging to it. I was like, bro, dude, that whole scene. And it's funny because Matt Jarbo, we were talking about Stranger Things, and he was just like, you know what's really when you listen to Metallica, like Metallica song definitely can be brought recently. Oh no.
You broke up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of it. That was fucking amazing. I love Max too. Max looks so cute this season. She's so sweet. But yes, no spoilers. I won't spoil it for anybody, but we will have the season 4 review out later this week, and oh my god, it's so fucking good. I think that's the best show to be ever put on Netflix. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, Gary.
Jarrell seems to be curious about the new series. Welcome! About the Rippaverse, I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not.
curious about the series. Saggy, are you curious about the series?
I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. I mean, listen, I get a lot of people don't like Rippa for Ripper's takes and everything, and that's fine. But like, I'm the type of person, I give credit where it's due because it's like the right thing to do. Like that's what separates us
I'm not
from
too
legit
pessimistic
haters.
about it.
Right, like, and that's what separates us from like legit haters. Like, you can hate somebody and still give credit where it's due. Like, I do it all the time. Like, I hate a lot of bunch of YouTubers, but if they're doing,
I give them credit.
You do. I'm just kidding.
No, she does. No, Tristan does. Tristan always gives credit where when even with somebody she doesn't like. She's not biased like that. But I mean, you know, you gotta sometimes give credit where it's due. It separates you from the legit haters. Like, I mean, if you're fine with being called a hater, then like power to you. But you know.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna spend $25 on his book.
Is it $25?
I don't know how much it is, but if he has a digital version, I might get it to review it to see if he actually put his money where his mouth is. And I will
but is
give
he
it
the type
props.
to believe in digital?
I don't know. Even if it's cheaper, I will just to review it, just for the video to see if it is good enough to stand up after all the years of bashing on comics. Now, with that being said, I'll be fair, but my bias will always be there. I am very much so not a young Rippa fan. I think some of his takes are terrible. Terrible. And the fact that he's using the whole fucking video, using identity politics and politics after years and years of saying he didn't want politics in it. No, I'm not interested. I am interested in for a review though. Like, but
Oh,
I'm
he's
not
not
going
doing
to spend
digital right
25
now.
cents.
Tristan,
You're gonna have to
I'll make
Oh,
a deal
okay.
with you. I'll make a deal with you. If he doesn't do digital, and his book is more than you're willing to spend, I will buy the book for you just so you can review it.
Oh my god. I'll be fair. I will be fair, but I think like I can't stand his political takes for stuff like this alone. And I won't support something that I don't believe in. And I'm a huge comics fan. And that's not like me. I can't separate art from artists with him. I can't. Him, EVS, there's a couple of them I cannot stand.
I mean,
Wrong. He said he
I'll-
wasn't
I'll
going to
support.
use identity politics, but he literally did in his trailer. He literally did in his trailer. In every
Well, I think
subsequent
talking
video.
about it and using it is a little bit different.
No. He literally said he said, I don't care about your race or your genetic makeup. What? I'm sorry. I find that baffling out of everything. I find
I
that
still think
baffling.
that's talking about I think that's still just talking instead of
In his
blah blah
recent
blah.
So before we did this stream, he put a video that I watched because I wanted to make sure I knew all about as much as I could about it. And he literally was like, as a black man, that's identity politics. That's all identity politics is. And he's using it to sell his book. But, the industry is bad, apparently.
As a black woman, fuck Amber Heard.
The first thing he did was complain about woke comics. Yeah. And that's
unfortunately usually a deal breaker with me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I understand they exist, and trust me, there's a lot more on the indie scene than what you guys are seeing on the big two, and this is me buying from both. Big difference. Shoot, what was I talking about?
Identifying identity politics?
Well, now I lost my train of thought.
Well, then I'll get the super chat. Gary,
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I like Hopper because he's a badass. He is. He was totally badass this entire season. I did not know how they were going to pull that together, and it was done flawlessly. And I like Steve because his childish personality and because I love his character arc. I hated him in season 1. I can agree. But the way he handles stuff with Dustin, I thought it was adorable. I really, really enjoyed this season. I was like, how are they gonna pull this shit together? And they did, and it was so good. But yeah, I promise we will review that. I promise. Carrie, I don't think she's actually here, but me and her are going to review it. I see her little bubble moving, but she's not talking. You obviously didn't understand what he said or simply didn't care.
I think Tristan just cares a little too much.
No, of course, I like comics, and the fact that he's attacked them for really minor things for years without actually giving them, like, he'll talk about the books, but he won't actually read them. So his points are pretty much invalid when you don't actually aren't actually able to go into the book and criticize it. As somebody that reviews comics on a normal basis. What'd you say?
I thought you cut off for a second, but you just paused. I'm sorry. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh no, don't escape from my brain because it already did. Like that other part.
Again,
it's
that
about
was
his...
kind of the theme for tonight with you. Wrong, he showed proof of reading them. No, he didn't.
That's what it was. So he said that he's going to be writing all of the stories. And I was talking to Robert, and I'm like, wait, so just him? No, there's not going to be any other writers? And he was like, no. And I'm like, well, I mean, having the same writer is definitely not a bad thing, but you feel
I
like
agree.
you need to diversify. Like, you're not only going to buy Ram V books, you're going to buy books from
Every
Ram
Ram V
V or
Right.
other people, frick, why are they Tom King or Tom Taylor or frick? I'll just say
Mariko
Jenna Marbles, and
Tamaki.
she's not one.
Mariko
But
Tamaki.
yes, thank you. Like they're all escaping from my brain at the moment, but I was like, well, that's kind of disappointing. Like I want to see more writers going into this, and then he didn't say who was editing, so I want to assume he's also doing that. And I'm like,
Oh,
cool. If you want to make sure you're doing something right, then you can be your own your own worst critic,
you need
your
an
best critic,
editor
something like
though.
that.
You need an editor though. Sometimes you're just too close to the project and you might miss
Yeah,
something
and that's
little.
what kind of sucks. I'm like, he could be overdoing it because it's going to be multiple books and multiple universes, and that can be a strain. Which is why when I'm
I
doing Kickstarter or
mean,
Indiegogo, it's one person doing everything, and it does take a toll that they would have
I
to take multiple
mean,
breaks.
I
See,
kind of disagree though because mainly it's like I'm not opposed to somebody doing all that work. Like I said, it's kind of like a level of respect that somebody who has so much grievance in the industry is taking upon themselves to do something about it
Oh, I
for
agree.
themselves. And I like the fact that he is writing things because he's telling the stories that he wants to tell. That makes sense. If he wants to tell different stories and his version of stories, if he thinks he can write a better story, then yeah, he should write a better story. He should be the writer. If he thinks he can do better than the industry that's been doing it for years, then yeah, he should be doing all that work and really getting experience in what it takes to be a comic book creator and getting the full hands-on experience. I think that that's the best thing for him is to do the writing, is to do the editing, is to proof everything and to approve everything. And yeah, you're right, Bianca, it does take a toll, but let him get the foot in the door and see what he can do before he gets other people to do it. Because hey, maybe if he gets other people to do it, he realizes, okay,
money wise.
this wasn't as easy. This wasn't as easy. Well, not even just money wise, just like let him get the experience to know what it takes to be part of the industry because now he's dipping his toe in it. So I think him doing all the writing is the thing that he should be doing if he wants to tell his stories that he think he could do better.
No,
I
like
agree,
I
but
didn't
you
have a
need an
problem with him
editor.
writing at all. Mostly just the toll. And
No,
hoping that if he does get enough money that he can invite more writers on, proofread what they wrote,
yes.
and then get some more characters, some more books out.
Right, because it is you do need I didn't know he was editing his own stuff.
He could be. He didn't say who it was.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just saying because it's very weird to edit your own stuff. You know, when you're working on, like when you're in high school, you're working on something so hard, you couldn't figure it out. You couldn't figure a problem out. And you walk away and you come back and you can figure it out. Or somebody gives you a different way to look at something. Sometimes you need an editor, not only for continuity and for spelling errors, the basic stuff, but also when you're really close to something, sometimes that little suggestion from somebody else, or, writing a female character, maybe have a female editor to where you could go, well, no, girl really wouldn't talk like this, something along those lines. That's why I said you need an actual editor. I thought you said he for sure was editing everything.
I have edited before. Editing is freaking hard, man.
It is
hard and time consuming. It took me like 2 weeks, and it was only like 20 pages. But that's because I also had work.
I'm not sure apparently all we talk about is politics. Have we brought politics up once?
The
No.
Rippaverse, I think.
I'm voting for Kanye West. Fuck you guys.
Oh man.
Kanye West.
Bruh.
Pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
What kind
These
of
are
dog
happy
do you have?
dogs.
What kind of dog do you have? She disappeared.
Oh, it's just Davey getting attacked by Thumbelina. Oh no.
Thumbelina, that's so cute.
Yo, they're throwing down.
I think it's great he's doing it. He's actually putting in the work. But it's also not, like I said, the way he went about it is my issue. If you take comics as a whole, it is a very, very niche market, right? They don't sell millions and millions every single comic book. It's niche. Not everybody reads comic books. They'd rather watch TV or something on streaming, some do this. So then when you take that niche market and make it even smaller by making it about having your first sentence say, I don't like woke comics or something like that, you're making it even smaller. And then you make it even smaller by victimizing these people. I don't know. I think it'll sell. I really do think it's going to sell. I'm not saying that at all. What I have a problem with is the delivery. Tell us why we should buy it. You told us nothing besides comics bad. Woke comics bad.
By Odin's Fade.
By Odin's face. Oh my god. The funny thing is that book went so far up in price because of all the outrage surrounding it.
Controversy sells, unfortunately.
And that's why I stay away from, like, stuff like Comicsgate, because it's like, I'm going to attack this person to sell my book. I'm going to start a campaign next week, so who's next on the docket? Like, I need to make somebody mad so I can make a bunch of videos about how they're a bad person. Like, I've had my fair share of made about me too. Apparently, I think everybody is dumb. I guess.
I consider myself dumb.
The only thing I know about Comicsgate, because I don't know much about it purposely, because I just don't care enough about it. But the one thing I noticed is, like, yeah, a lot of people who are content creators that are part of Comicsgate spend more time building their channel and selling books based on drama. Which, hey, I'm a drama channel, so I get the hustle. But it's like, what does this drama have to do with your comics? Oh, it's just a way to get people to come watch and then show my books. Like, I get the hustle, but like, let's not pretend like y'all ain't just dipping your toes in the drama, shitting on other content creators and comic book artists just so you can sell a book. Like, come on.
It's a constant thing. Oh my god.
It is. It's like, oh my god, these people, these SJWs are attacking me. The only way we can fight those libtards is if you buy my book. What?
I'm lucky enough to be friends with some who try to stay out of the drama as much as possible.
I mean, yeah, there is those, but that's the thing. The bigger names in that community give all of them a bad name.
Yeah, we don't know if the Rippaverse is gonna suck or not. The video explaining it kind of sucks, but we don't know about the actual product. I mean, I have seen crap advertising with good products.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
Born of Blood. I'm just kidding.
I don't know about you guys, but I recall this one commercial, like, from a while ago. Oh my freaking god. No! Don't believe it, knock it off, please. Okay, does anyone remember that really weird commercial? Like, it wasn't super weird, but it had a dude in it who was trying to offer, like, barbecue ribs and, like, foot massages for his, like, little...
I heard of this commercial. I did not see it, but a lot of people talked about it. And
Yeah,
I'm kind of scared.
it's not
Wait,
bad.
what's
It's
the
kinda
commercial?
funny.
Wait, is that Joe's Barbecue and Foot Massage?
Yes!
Joe's Barbecue and Foot Massage. I don't know if it was Joe, but I know the barbecue and foot massage part.
Yeah,
Jingle.
like, if it was something like that, it would be more memorable. Not exactly like that, but you get what I mean. There are weird places, or interesting places that have those commercials, and Rippa's commercial was just like, I was trying to watch it. I went through it, and I'm like, I don't understand where's the product? What's the character's intentions? Like,
Yeah.
if you want to give us a character, you have to make sure you show the character. What's going to be your top selling character? Who do you think is going to be? Like, you obviously have to look out for, like, Supermans or like Batmans or Spider-Man characters that will pull people in, because either design wise or personality wise, that's how you pull people in. You have an interesting design, you have a character that has an interesting superpower, but it doesn't show in that, and it's all over the place. Yes, but when you want to give people a product, you have to show us the product. Why should we care, aside from, like, talking about what you're trying to represent? Like, sure, whatever, I don't care. I want to buy a fucking comic book. I'm not here to listen to you talk about your politics or whatever you're striving for. Let's be real, a lot of fans, in some ways, they don't care about that stuff. As much as it gets you emotional to, like, be able to be here today, being able to write this comic and sell your product, and that you have so many interested people, you have to make it easy for the customer to see what they want.
Exactly. And it was like he was selling himself, not his book. That
Yeah.
was the issue I had with it. Like,
You think he'll have
As a-
any werewolf characters?
who wants to bet that his villain has blue hair and nerdy glasses? Like, they're gonna be
I don't think he will. I think he's the type of guy to actually write some nuanced writing. From the way he carries himself, at least.
right,
He at least tries
and he
to
has a lot to
be.
prove.
Yeah, he at least tries to be very knowledgeable on the stuff he talks about, whether he could be wrong or not. It's the what's it called? It's the it's not the thought that counts because he's actually doing it. It's what the heck? It's the action that matters. I
Right,
think.
exactly.
I
Let me
mean
get this
the
super
character. Sorry.
No, 1 second. Gary, thank you so much. In D&D, they have vampires, so when Steve got bit by a bat, I thought he was gonna turn. Now I'm thinking vampire rocker called Eddie who controls bats while playing his guitar. That would
Ooh.
be fucking badass. That would be awesome.
That'd
It really would. That would be a little different for Stranger Things, but it would be awesome to actually
The
see.
problem with the trailer was like you see characters, but one of those could actually be the villain, or one of those could actually be the hero. Like with not just Disney, but so many people do this where
Disney,
if you wear
yeah.
green, you can be considered like the anti-hero or the evil villain character, that kind of stuff, and how you are drawn. So I'm like, I was looking at the people in green, and I'm like, are you guys the villain? Are you guys the anti-heroes? You kind of have that feel, you know? Hey, Dead Guy Comics, what's up? Thank you, Random Dude Draws. I would buy your werewolf comic.
I'm not a werewolf person. I'm really not, or a vampire.
Because you guys like suckish vampires, okay?
But you just like furry things, like.
No! Have you not
Yes.
seen what a werewolf looks like?
Yes, but I haven't. There's not too many great werewolf stories out there. Like, there's great
That's
zombie
true.
story,
Oh
but there's
yeah.
not. There's great vampire stories, but is there really any like
I want
quintessential
to debate
amazing?
that. I don't think there's as good vampire stories. No, I do think there's more good vampire stories than werewolf stories, but there's a lot of crappy vampire stories.
Oh yeah,
And a lot of
just
time when there
Twilight
is a good
alone.
vampire story, it's because it's like satire. Like my favorite type of werewolf is the skinny, anemic looking werewolf with the whole ribs like sticking out and everything, and it has like a deformed hunched back with claws, and so majority of the time they don't really have fur, like they'll have some stray hairs here and there, but they're mostly nude.
There's a couple good vampires stories. There's that Batman vampire one that's really good, and then Dracula.
You're not even
motherfucker.
Batman.
Yeah, there is.
Are you talking about Batman versus Dracula?
Oh boy.
No, it's the Doug Monick one or whatever. I forget what it's called.
The Howling. I still have to watch that. Teen Wolf. That's how I first got into werewolves. I was like, what the heck is this? But they're going to more like the person werewolf, where it's just their face and they just have a little bit of hair coming out of their face, and then the claws and then the teeth, but nothing else changes, which I don't mind that type of werewolf as well.
I'm even trying to look up good werewolf.
Ginger
comics,
Snaps!
and I don't-
Ginger Snaps! Ginger Snaps has a good werewolf design. That's one of my favorites. That's the one I'm mostly talking about.
Now I really want to read a werewolf story. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up Ginger Snaps. Okay, guys,
That is a
we're gonna-
movie.
Oh, it's a movie. I thought it was a comic book.
No, I was talking about movies this entire time.
Ugh.
I have seen American Werewolf in London. That's a really good werewolf. It looks freaking scary when it walks, though, because you can tell it's a person in the costume.
Does anyone know any good werewolf comics? Leave it in the comments after the stream, because now I really want to look.
It's hard to find. Do you know
It
how long I've
is.
been searching for it? Like,
Ooh.
there on one of my indie videos I put out, I think it's my second to last one. I did add a werewolf comic on there, so you guys better freaking support it. Like all
I
you werewolf
told
lovers,
you.
oh, I love werewolves. Oh yeah, but did you get the comic though? Huh? Did you support it? Did you support it? Lies, hypocrites. I banned
I
all of
told
you.
I told you, lady. I gotta wait till YouTube pays me.
Everybody was
um,
telling me the Wolfman remake was bad. Who do I believe?
you believe yourself. You judge for yourself. There we go. All right,
I will.
guys, we are going to wrap up. Bianca, what do you have going on this week on your channel? Anything fun? Are you gonna
I
live stream
have to
again?
do another. I have to do another. I have to put out another indie comic video.
I gotta go back through your other one because I know there was some books on there that I wanted. I know there was. What about you, Kate? Do you have anything going on in your channels? Your videos have been very good lately, by the way.
Yeah, I guess I've just been waiting around a lot to see what I can do, but I've mostly been preparing my review videos a little bit, which has taken a long time on me. So I just focus on gaming stuff now, more on the weekly than anything else, unless there's like something important going on, because I'm like, I gotta research this shit now, because I'm gonna bite myself in the butt afterwards if I don't research this.
You
Or
did.
it's gonna.
I thought it was really cool how you did. You went through the YA books and you were actually very fair with them. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I'm.
Ooh, YA books.
Yeah, for
You,
those, I'm just like, we have to start, like, when it comes to that, it's just like, oh my freaking goodness. A lot of people seem to judge them a lot, and I can understand that. But it's also like, the audience for that is mostly woman based, so it's like, it's not really ruining the continuity. And I've noticed that a lot with people, and it's like, yeah, I get it. I get annoyed by them too. I'm not going to get too annoyed by them, but I get annoyed with,
right.
like, some plot points because I've experienced, like, some of the reading in the main continuity. So I can't really compare an alternate reality with the main continuity. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but you're fair, and that's what I think is really awesome. Let me get this. Gary, thank you so much. I like American Werewolf in London, The Howling. I've seen a couple people say The Howling. I've never heard of it. Dog Soldiers and the Wolfman remake. Thank
Do
you
I know
very
Dog
much.
Soldiers?
I don't know what that is.
Dog Soldiers is a
Well,
werewolf movie. Do 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 do
I
do.
like your song.
Thank
um,
you.
And Nerdy Girl and Carrie is in the chat. Make sure you guys check out her channel also. She does, I think tomorrow would be Manga Monday for her. She just did
Woo.
a review of Clear and some other really good books. So that's awesome. What about you, Saggy? Any plans
Of
for
course, it's
Um,
vampires. Ugh.
I mean, not much. Just been just keeping my eyes on the Ezra Miller situation. Just putting all the information I can out there.
You're doing God's
I,
work.
that's right. I always look forward to your streams because I'm always like, yeah, they're later in the evening. I can just chill and listen. Yeah, it's awesome. Me and Bianca also have our bad ideas tomorrow about crowdfunding. And we go through a couple different. We talk a teeny bit about, like, barely at all about the Rippaverse. That's totally clickbait. I promise you.
We don't
But
really. We would just
yeah,
mention it a little bit.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was just like, I gotta get. I can't think of a way to make my thumbnail. And Canva wasn't working, and it was annoying me. So I'm like, this is the easy way to do it.
We can all agree that the art looks great, though.
Yes, we can agree to that, and it's a good thing to do. He's putting his money where his mouth is, but his trailer fucking sucked. Plain and simple.
But I'm too nice, so I'm gonna be optimistic. And I'm just looking for that Christian character, just so you know, Rippa. I know you're not gonna be listening in, but Christian character, a character of the Christian faith, just a heads up, you
What
got that
about
right
punk
wing
rock
people,
Jesus?
no! Christian character, thank you.
Oh my goodness, you better deliver. All right, yeah, I won't be supporting unless it's super dirt cheap because I don't care. But yeah, so I'll have my normal stuff. Best of the week. I'll have the morning brew on Tuesday and Thursday. And I don't know what else. It just depends on what the week delivers always. But yes, thank you guys all for joining and thank you guys all for watching. And we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.